Change my background. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
We're live on a Tuesday here at 5 o'clock my time. What time is it your time? Just wanted to jump on here for a little while and just chat about the Tampa meetup. And I threw out an email to some people that were there. So if anybody has a chance to jump on sometime in the next hour or so and share your experience, that would be amazing. Or if you're in the chat joining us, if you were there or if you wanted to be there, we're going to just hang out for a little bit and talk about it. So I'm joined by the lovely Miss Ellie from Nourishment Redacted here. And I had the honor and privilege of staying with her while we were at the meetup. So we got to meet in person finally, which was super cool, and go to the event on Saturday. And we had tons of fun, all kinds of stuff we can chat about. So just thought I would check in with everybody since I didn't do a live stream on Sunday because I was living in the moment and hanging out and enjoying my time. I've almost got my footage compiled into a little bit longer short of all the photos and things like that, but I didn't quite get it done before we jumped on today. So BLCarnivore is here and he's backstage. So here we go.
Hey, Peter.
Yay. Thanks for joining. And Bruce in the house. Howdy, howdy. Josephine C. Howdy, beautiful people. Lots of howdies.
Howdy, howdy.
Excellent. So, yeah, maybe we'll just go around and give us your impressions of the event, what it was like, any takeaways that you had throughout the experience. What was it like meeting people in person? Was this your first meetup? Was this your 10th meetup? Just give us your thoughts. So we'll start with Ellie. Let me throw everybody's names up here too.
Sure. So this weekend, I'd say, was just so full of action. I didn't expect. I didn't know what to expect, I think is the honest answer. I knew that Nia was coming, and she was staying with me, and we were going to finally meet in person. And so that was like my first thing of like, oh my gosh, I'm finally going to meet somebody. And you said you had the pleasure and the honor, but we had the pleasure and honor of having you and your daughter stay with us, and we got to play with our babies. And so that really helped me stay calm, I feel like, because I was really nervous before the meetup. Because it's like all of a sudden the people you see on the computer screen or your cell phone screen, well, they're going to be there in the flesh. And I don't know why I like had this all built up in my head, but I was really nervous. And then like one of the first people I met was Peter. It was awesome. That guy right there.
Wait, did we meet at the coffee machine? I forget.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, it was at the coffee machine.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. And the first thing that I would take away from the whole event was how warm and inviting everybody was. Everybody was just so kind, and it's like we all had the same look. We all had the same, like, we've all been through something. We've all really struggled in life. And then so when you connect with someone like on that kind of spiritual level, and then you also like eat the same diet, I think that really helps too, obviously. But yeah, like I felt like the event was so well put together, and it was just an excellent opportunity for all of us to be together. And I got to meet some subscribers, which I didn't think was going to happen. I was like, what? You know what? And I was so surprised when people recognized who I was, because I feel like this tiny little like baby fish in the big ocean of carnivore YouTubers. And so that was really, really great. The food was delicious. And overall, I just had a wonderful time. And now, instead of being addicted to carbs and sugar, I'm addicted to meetups now. So I have to go to another one.
Yeah, I feel the same way. There's a different energy. It's not like anything else I've been to. So positive, and so we talked about this. Like you can just see, you just feel this immediate bond with people because everybody in that room has done something really hard or has overcome something really hard or is continuing to overcome something really hard, probably similar to what you've had to overcome. And so there's already this bond between everybody there who's just looking to feel their best, and looking to be their best, and looking for support, but also to give that support to others. So it's super, super beautiful. What about you, Papa? What are your thoughts on the meetup?
Oh man. Well, remember mine started the night before at Kiltsy's house, which was insane. Did you see Kerry's video that he just posted about all the meetup, but also the barbecue at Kiltsy's? Did you happen to see that?
I haven't. I saw the post come up with the link, and it's on my watch
Yeah.
later because I've been editing
You gotta
all the
you have to
afternoon.
watch
So
you have to watch it because like just
I can't wait.
the picture of the steaks are just insane. I mean, these Wagyu from Wyoming, Bighorn Farms steaks was like, it's like nothing I've never seen steaks that look like that. They were monster thick. They had the yellow fat. They were just marbled, like insanely marbled. Like I've just never seen anything like it, guys. And so Kerry took a bunch of those pictures and stuff and videos of it. So and it was just great. And he did Kiltz's speech, his welcome speech to everybody was so amazing. It was just wonderful. And you got to listen to that, how he welcomed everybody and made everyone feel so comfortable at his house. Actually, it's not even his house. He bought this thing to tear it down, and he decided instead of tearing it down, he has a real house like 2 houses away on the water. Like his monster house is like, God knows how big that thing is. This was a 1-story, older home that he just fixed up. It's beautiful. And the whole back of the house is these doors that all open up the whole length of the house. And all you see is water the whole length of this thing. And then he had the fire pits out there. He had the giant table, like huge tables out on the, like, something you'd see at a wedding, a long table. Like you just have to see it. It's just crazy. And we all sat, there were 2 big long tables and everyone sat together. And it was just, it was like a commune like type environment, like kumbaya, like I can't even describe it. And then it carried over into the Tampa meetup where I got to meet you guys and stuff. And your daughter, Eliana, was so cute. And I saw, obviously Emma, Carrie's daughter. And it was just so nice to see everyone. And everyone was so nice. This was my 3rd meetup. I did 2 with Old Guy Carnivore Mitch, one last fall and one about not even a month ago, just a couple weeks ago. But, you do get addicted. Ellie, I think you're right. It's very addicting because I did this all alone, like 2 years of being alone until like my first meetup about 4 months ago. So over a year and a half being completely alone, in my way of even keto. I didn't even know anyone doing keto, guys, let alone carnivore. So in the beginning, I really hid what I was doing. Do you know what I'm like? There was a little bit of, I don't know if you call it shame, but I just, people were saying such bad things about it and it's unsustainable and you're going to die. Even on keto, they were saying that, oh, all that fat, you know what I mean? It's a high fat, and so I would just say, oh, I'm just eating whole foods, meat and veg. I would always say, like Dr. Berry, he always says, if you're keto, it's meat and veg, and then as I got into carnivore, I just, I didn't really tell anybody. I still said, oh, I'm meat and veg. I would always just meat and veg. Because if you said to somebody, I eat nothing but meat, you might as well have 4 heads, right? I mean, they just, what? It just, you can't get anywhere. But they'll listen, I think, when you say, why do you, I took out all the seed oils and the sugar and I don't eat bread. I just I would say that kind of stuff. So I think for me, I kind of kept it quiet. And you know what? When I met Rick, Charger Mopar, my life changed. And Mitch, Old Guy Carnivore, because they're so out and like, hey, we're out and we're proud, like the gays do, right?
Basically nothing. I didn't know you were 63. I had no idea. That's amazing.
Yeah, my son's 30. My son Michael's 30. Katie's 27. Yeah, and Michael's having a baby. I'm going to be a grandfather on next month. Yay. Yeah, a girl.
Are you going to have to change your name to Grandpapa Carnivore?
No, but anyway, yeah. Well, my nickname is Papa Petey. Like in real life, when I had my son, they said, "Oh, what a proud Papa, Papa Petey," and it just stuck, and so I've been known as Papa Petey. So now I'm Papa Carnivore.
Wow, that's
great. So everyone like all my friends, they just call me Papa. So you guys you can just call me Papa.
That's awesome. Love it. Yeah, I really agree with you.
Do you feel the confidence, Ellie? Do you feel that confidence starting to grow a little more?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I definitely am someone, and I wholeheartedly admit this. I have low self-esteem. I've had low self-esteem my whole life, and I feel like this is the first time in my life where I actually maybe I've got something, or maybe be proud of what I'm doing, the hard work that I'm doing for myself, and in turn, because of that hard work, I can help others. Yeah. And as the time went on, from walking into the hotel to the end of the night, I felt like my confidence has shot up like crazy. Yes, there's the meat.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
But look how yellow that is. Like, oh my God. I mean, it's just insane. It's insane.
I hung out with Brett for a majority of the day because he's just so amazing and warm.
Well, Brett and Ashley were the two barbecue guys.
Yes.
Like they did all the cooking, and they smoked it in this gigantic trailer smoker. The thing must have been 8 feet long. This smoker trailer, they went and they rented it. They went out, they did everything. They went and rented the smoker. They smoked all the meat. So it was, and then they made it rare. It was rare. It was very rare, but it was delicious. I can't even describe to you. It was like butter. It was like you could almost cut it with a fork. It was so tender. You've never tasted anything like this in your life. I don't think I ever will.
I was messaging Brett saying that we gotta try some of him and Ashley's food, because I keep seeing video of it and pictures, and I'm like, I want to try it. So definitely missed out on that. I'm glad you guys got to enjoy it. It's definitely it's not only like meeting as a community, but also for a goal of getting this documentary made. I think that also like just amps it up to another degree. It's like we all have this like mission that we're all kind of carrying, that we want to heal humanity. And that I love the name of the film. I actually had never seen that trailer that they showed during the meetup, and I cried like a baby. I don't know. Nia, did you cry at all?
When
Even
Bill
if you-
cried, when Bill started crying and Carrie hugged him, if you weren't like crying at that point, man, you're pretty cold. Because this guy has been trapped in his house for like years. Hey guys, how's it going?
It's good.
What's up?
Sorry, I'm in my car. I'm working. I'm out on the road, so I wanted to pop in and say hi to Papa and Ellie and Nia and everybody, and just say how much I enjoyed meeting you all. You know, I got to talk to Papa for a little bit when we were at Kilsa's place, and you know, I was so busy. I apologize we didn't get to talk and hang out more than we did. But it was a good time, and that he's right. That smoker was pretty awesome, and if you watch the video that Carrie posted up, he's got a great shot of our 6 feet long of nothing but meat on the rack of that thing as we were smoking it. So yeah, rented the smoker. I had him get some really good premium charcoal and cherry wood, and we smoked it and seared it, and it was really, really good stuff. And I made bone marrow butter and oxtails too. So yeah,
The oxtail sounded so good. How did you do those? Tell everybody again how you told me.
I smoked them before I smoked the steaks, and then they got about 2 hours of smoke, and then I put them in a aluminum tray with some beef broth, and then threw them back in the smoker, and they just kind of baked in there for a while, and then they just fell apart, and we cleaned them up, and there wasn't a lot, but everybody got a taste that wanted some.
That's great.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know what I got to do next time. I've got to get in on the smoker, y'all's cooking action, just like Ellie was saying. Yeah, Lisa says the bone marrow was to die for. Yeah. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it was. It was my first time making it too, and well, Kiltz bought like a half of a cow. He might have bought a whole cow. I don't know, but there was a lot of meat that we didn't show that was still in the freezer. And he got the femur bones that were all canoe cut, and I smoked those and got the marrow out, and then I mixed it up with Kerrygold butter, and that was the bone marrow butter that we had. It was very simple, but it was just so rich and good. I'm gonna start making that at home and keeping it on hand for grilling steaks.
Brett, I have a question. So you've been going to several meetups now, and you've been providing, like cooking all the food and everything like that. Did you ever have any experience with cooking for this large amount of people before, helping with the movie?
No, I've never cooked for that many people before. So yeah, we pulled it off, and I had Ashley from Carnivore Brothers. He was there to help, and we pulled it off. I couldn't have done it without him. It was just too many steaks and too much to do for two hands. But me and Ashley, we pulled it off, and I made a little video when we were searing the steaks, because we smoked them all, and then we pulled them off, and then we pulled all the racks and heat deflectors out and put the grill back in over the bare charcoal, and it got roaring hot, like, I don't know, 700 degrees. You could have forged a sword in this thing. It was so hot. And we don't have any hair on our knuckles left, but the steaks got a really good sear after they were smoked. And that's where they got that kind of, the Papa was describing, that They were nice and medium rare on the inside and had a nice crust on the outside. So the people that attended, they paid good money to be there, that went right to the movie. And, we wanted to give them, a unique experience. So that's why I had them rent the cooker, and, just tried to do it up right for everybody to give them their money's worth.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't know if you can see, Brett, this question that's pulled up, but they're asking where you rented that smoker from. They know somebody in Florida who could use it.
It was from a place called Pine. I can't remember it now. It's been weeks ago since we made the reservation. But if you search for like grill smoker rental in Sarasota, you'll find it. Pinecrest or something like that. It's a really nice high-end store. And the Meadow Creek smoker that we rented, it's made, they're made in Pennsylvania. They're all made by hand by the Amish up there. And they're all hand welded and made to order. And it was a really, really nice high quality grill. So yeah, it was great.
Is that it? Pinecraft Barbecue?
Yep, that's probably it.
Sarasota? Okay.
Yep, Pinecraft. Yep, you got it.
Okay. There you go.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How about you? Nia, how about you share what you thought about the event?
When I first heard about it, I was like, I have to be there. Like, I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know how, but I'm going to get there because obviously it was close to your location. And so I thought, what better excuse to go meet my buddy Ellie in person than go to a meetup? And so it was kind of a last minute thing, but we booked these crazy connecting flights. It took all day to get there and all day on Monday to get back, basically 12 hours both days. But it was so worth it. Since really the first thing I ever went to was Hack Your Health last year. And that totally changed my view of connecting and community and what it means to be around like-minded people and just getting that support in person. Like it was it hit me so much that, that was like, I want to go to everything I can. And then in October, we did the Montello meetup in Wisconsin, and that was amazing. And so I thought, well, this is close enough to where I should really go. So it was so worth it. And I had several kind of realizations that are going to like personally help me, I think, on my own healing journey. Just things that some people said that really stuck out to me as far as things to try. But mostly it was just, again, like being in that room. And now when I'm looking back on the footage too, just like scanning around and seeing like, I don't know how many, there was probably 200 people, close to 200 people, I'd say, in the morning panel. At least that's how many name tags were out there on that table. And then, how we took up basically the whole more than half of the restaurant at Texas de Brazil. And it was a big restaurant, just to, see that they're like, these people are real, and when you do social media, you're talking to people on the other side of the camera, but it's still hard to imagine that you're actually having an impact, or like somebody actually clicks on your video and sees what you're saying and it has any kind of positive impact on them. So, I got to meet a few people that said that, they had watched my videos, and that means so much to me to actually get to look somebody in the eye, and know their real name, not just their handle on YouTube or whatever. And like, put a face to that and realize like, hey, this person out here in a place I've never been, in a life I've never lived, I can have an impact on that. And they need they need support and encouragement too, just like I do. And it's just, so it's literally the humanity of it that I think makes these experiences so worth going to, because to me, I can't put a price on that. You know, I can't put a price on just knowing that I'm not alone and that there's other people out there that made a point, that made it to that event because they also care about the community and the connection and supporting the documentary and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. I know things like that are not comfortable for everybody to be at. I know I was really nervous to go to Hack Your Health because I had never been to an event like that. And I thought, oh, what am I going to do? Just walk in there by myself, you know, and like, it can be kind of nerve wracking. So, you know, and like, you don't really know what to expect. So, but just the way all of these have been so far have just been, I've always just left on a high, just kind of feeling like renewed and ready to make videos and inspired and all this kind of stuff. So it's really, I enjoyed it immensely, and I loved seeing all of you there, getting to give everybody hugs. And so, yeah, like Lisa says, being a part of Real Connection belly to belly is very, very cool. So, yeah.
There's nothing quite like going to a meetup, like you said, making those connections, and you know, actually looking eye to eye with someone that you've chatted with, you know, online. You know, there's just no substitute for meeting someone in person. And you know, wait till you host your event that's coming up, Nia. The feeling that, you know, you're hosting an event and then you see all these people that are coming, you know, just for you. And the people that, you know, because you're hosting it with Ashley, and is there another person too that you're hosting it with?
Yeah, and I actually meant to talk about that too tonight. So
Yeah,
the
but there
Austin
is
meetup is on March 8th, and it's going to be, I mean, it's Dr. Kiltz is organizing it, I think, under the Healing Humanity banner. So let me share this here. So, but yeah, I'm going to be there as a speaker along with, there we go. So Dr. Kiltz, Carrie and Adam obviously will be there. Lauren Knight Hughes is going to be there. Myself, the Texas brothers or Texas boys. And is it Jimmy and Annette? Is that their names?
Yes.
They were they're in the documentary. They're going to be there. So yeah, it's going to be a big deal in Austin too. It's an all day kind of thing too. So I have the link for tickets in the description. So you better get over, 11 to 5. So it's going to be like lots of speakers, lots of time to mingle, brisket lunch. Go ahead.
So is that going to be at a hotel, or what's the venue going to be like?
It is at something called, it says ATX. Hold on, let me pull up the ATX Exchange. And so I looked it up on the map, and it's kind of like it looks like an event center type of thing. Let's see if I can pull it up here. But it's got, I've got pictures. He sent out some pictures. So there's, this is what it looks like inside. Let me change my screen here.
Is Ashley making the brisket, or are they having it brought in? I imagine they're having it brought in.
You know, that I don't know for sure. It just says brisket meal to be served on site and included in ticket price, but it doesn't say who is providing the food. But the ticket includes admission to the event.
Damn fun brisket.
Yes. Where did it go? Okay, share this tab.
Well, I'm super
this
jealous.
is like
I wish I could go.
Kind of what the event center looks like.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So there'll be kind of like everybody will be seated at these tables instead of kind of in the auditorium style. It looks like, so it's kind of looks like a business conference center of some kind. And then, 11 to 5, brisket lunch included. Texas boys, Adam Lacey, Lauren Knight Hughes, Carrie Mann, Dr. Robert Kiltz, me, and Pastors Jimmy and Annette Pruitt will all be sharing our stories. And I think there's some other people that are going to be there as well that maybe sharing their stories, or they're just not confirmed yet. So yeah, going to be definitely a big day and very cool because there's so many Texas people. I feel like I know people in San Antonio, Houston area, North Texas, obviously DFW area. So even if you can't attend, if you would share the link in the description,
Yep.
share it with any local groups, Facebook groups, any network that you have, because we want to get this information out to everybody so that people in this area can flock together and have the experience like we just had in Tampa. So yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for bringing that
I'm
up.
sure you're going to have a great turnout.
Yeah, I think so too. And Austin's a cool place too. And then there's a bunch more coming up.
And Kiltz has got a great team of people that, help put these things together and organize and advertise. So yeah, it's going to be good. I wish I could go too. But my allowed trips per year are numbered. So I got to, make them count. But I will be at Hack Your Health in November back in Tampa. We got some big plans coming down the pipe for that. So just got to get with all the members of the Healing Humanity gang and the Steak and Butter gang, and we're gonna do something pretty cool, I'm sure. So more to come, and the two of you will I'll keep you guys in the loop on all of that too.
Awesome, thanks. Looking forward to it. Yeah, the only experience of like a convention I've ever been to is nerd alert. When I was a kid, I used to go to I went to an anime convention. That was pretty fun. But going to a convention as an adult is definitely going to be different. And plus, it's going to be, I think, a lot more educational, not just for our minds, but also our souls, because you get touched and inspired by those who have gone through so much, or professionals who have seen all these stories and all this data, and they collect it and then they're able to teach it in a way that's really palatable. So I'm looking forward to being educated for my heart and my soul at the convention.
Yep. Yeah, the conventions are great. The last Hack Your Health, it was almost kind of like a keto carnivore trade show. There were all these different products, and like an anime convention where they have all these booths set up and people have things to display and sell and try out. And Hack Your Health was much of the same. Keto Brick was there, giving out samples. There were people that made tallow products that were there. People that made there was even people that made like massaging equipment and different therapy equipment and lots and lots of different stuff. So lots of products to try. There was food, people that made different kinds of beef jerky and all kinds of stuff. You're gonna have a good time. Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do this year. Do we know where it is in Tampa yet?
I don't
Location?
yet.
I don't know if they have it posted.
I'm sure it's in the Healing Human or the Hack Your Health website. I got my ticket. And if you haven't got a ticket yet, you should get one soon, because I think they're still priced at like $100 for the 3-day ticket, which is really a good price. So check with them. I think that's going away soon, that special price. So definitely check it out.
My ticket still, so definitely. Yeah, I think I think that's I like too that, well, it was talked about, I think, I don't know if it was in the morning or if it was somebody I was just talking to in general, but they were saying how there was such a heavy carnivore presence last year at Hack Your Health that you could tell how many people had come there, you know, really just for that. Like the carnivore Q&A panel was like, the room was jam-packed. Sean Baker's talk was completely jam-packed. Like, so that just goes to show too, it's growing, and there were a lot of people there. I think they said they're shooting for like 5,000 attendees this year, or they're estimating that that's how many they might get. So that's a lot of
That'll
people.
be awesome.
Yeah. Let's say hey to some
Ellie,
people here.
And Ellie, if you need me to help push you into meeting some people, I'll be happy to stand behind you and move you forward again.
Yeah, tell that story.
Oh my gosh, Brett, you really did help me out. So when we first got to the event, I saw Carrie, and Nia and I went up to him and we said hi, and I was like, oh hey, and then we walked away. But I was like, I wanted, like, my heart was heavy, and I was like, I wanted to like thank him for how much he like changed my life with his sharing his story. But I kept chickening out. And Brett was like, no, you're going to meet Carrie. And then he literally like not pushed me hard, but like he pushed me like, enough to like get me over there. And I was like, oh, dang it. Now I got to do it. So, and he was there to help back me up when I was like floundering. So I really appreciated that. And it was funny that Ashley did the same thing. He was like, Jen's going to want to see you. And I was like, what do you mean Jen's going to want to see me? And he's like, I'm going to bring you to Jen. And I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. And then I got to talk to Jen for a bit. And then she did the same thing. She said, oh my gosh, Emma's going to want to meet you. And I was like, what? I just felt like it was this like cascade effect of like everybody just wanted, to meet me. And I was like, I was so touched. So I really am appreciative of that, Brett, because.
Yeah. And Ellie, you're such a sweet person. And I'm like, Carrie is going to want to meet you. He knows who you are. Jen knows who you are. Half the people in here know who you are. Like, you don't have to be afraid to meet anyone. And Carrie's like the nicest person you could possibly ever meet. As everyone is there. There's no big egos in that room. So, you don't ever have to be afraid to, even like when I met Dr. Barry, I was kind of like that. And I just like, he said it before, he said, just come right up to him and say hi. So that's what I did. And it was awesome. So yeah, don't ever be afraid to say hi to somebody there. So, because you're out there enough, you're popular enough. They probably already know who you are before you even open your mouth. So.
Stop it, Brett. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So.
When Nia was over at my house, we were talking about how we're trying to rephrase, right? Is that the way to say it? Like, rephrase how we think and how we speak in order to be more positive, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like reframing the idea.
Reframing, that's it.
Yeah, like just recognizing that like everything you say is literally a seed, and like so paying a close attention to like the words you say about yourself and your intentions for things and stuff, because really they are words or seeds,
Yeah, so I was practicing that.
Say nice things about yourself.
Okay, I will. And you do the same. Yeah, there was just so much love, and yeah, I think I can't believe it, but I think Kilt had the most energy out of anyone. And he was the old guy, right? That was such a funny running joke. Hey, it looks Peter. Peter.
Hey guys, I got to jump off of here in a 2-hour drive home. So just wanted to jump on, say hi to everybody. And if you can go to the Austin meetup, don't miss the opportunity to go. So, and you can check websites like Low Carb Events. A lot of them advertise local meetups around, so check on there. If you don't know where to find one, that's a good place to start. Low carb events. Check that out. So,
Fantastic. Well, drive safely, Brett. Thanks for coming.
all right.
on.
See you
Thanks,
later. See you
Brett.
later, Pete.
Bye.
Bye.
He's too
Awesome.
nice.
Well, we'll
What
I
I missed?
know.
He's so nice.
Oh, we're just talking about how Brett was helping Ellie go up to Carrie, and she got to meet Carrie and Jen. And what else? Talked about the Tampa or the Austin meetup coming up a little bit.
So I'm just going to
and
miss you
how-
guys by, well, a month, because I'm going to be coming in the first week of April to see the grandbaby in San Antonio.
Mm.
And my daughter lives in
Oh.
Austin, but yeah, I won't be able to. I'll be gone by then. I won't be there till April. Hey, look who it
Hi.
is.
I know that person. Hey, Adrian. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
It was so
We're
great to meet you, Biggest
fantastic.
Loser.
It was nice to meet you, Papa Carnivore.
Yeah, it was awesome. Wasn't it fun?
Sorry, I have a horrible internet connection.
Wasn't it fun?
It was a blast.
Yeah. It was
I
great.
couldn't believe
Yeah,
it.
give us.
You know what's funny? The only picture I had taken at that entire thing is with the three of you guys.
Really? Okay, because I was looking through my pictures and I was like, I didn't get a picture with Peter.
Okay, I'll send it to you. I have a
Send it.
picture.
Email it to me.
Whoever took it took like 3 times. Bing, 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 bing. It's the same picture,
Okay.
but it's the three of us with Eliana at the bottom,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good It's
She
a
has to
really
be in
good,
every
it came out really good.
Yeah, send that to me, please. I would have included in my
Cool.
short that I had made. Dang.
Oh.
I know. I'm like, maybe that's why I didn't finish editing it before we came on because I needed
Oh.
one more picture.
Oh, it's a
So-
really good. Here, hold on 1 second. Just stay right there for 1 second.
Okay.
Hopefully my
Yeah.
internet's better now. I turned the Wi-Fi off.
Okay. You
Oh,
look
okay.
and sound good so far.
Yeah, so far it's coming in good. Well, give us your thoughts, Adrian. What do you think of the meetup? What was it like? Tell us a little bit about the cruise you were on, if you want. What were some of your takeaways from your time in Florida?
Hopefully it still works because mine is still blinking out.
Okay, you're good so far.
The cruise was amazing. It's nobody, I don't know about you guys, but I don't expect people to make special accommodations for me. Nobody ever really understands what's going on. They often think that you're just trying to lose weight, and so they don't necessarily always take you seriously. And maybe they think you're a hypochondriac. You get the hypochondriac look a lot when you talk about seed oils. And so when I'm on a ship, usually I've tried the ship thing where you make a ton of accommodations, but it's just, oh my gosh, yeah, you're so funny. It can be such a pain in the butt to ask for special privileges everywhere you go on a ship. But they understood our group and they went above and beyond. It brought tears to my eyes multiple times as they wanted to make us happy. And they treated us like we were so special, not like a bunch of weirdos. Like truly. They treated us like we were so special. They had to go get real butter. We took a tour of the kitchen. They gave the whole group a tour of the galley. And usually you have to pay extra or you have to be like a Pinnacle member to get this tour. And they gave all 150 of us the tour. And they catered like a special breakfast for us. Every day we were on the ship, the food kept coming faster. Like, you want eggs? Here's 6 eggs. Boom. You want more bacon? Here's a whole plate of bacon. Boom. It was magical. It was magical. If anybody can go on a cruise with a bunch of carnivores, I highly recommend it because you will eat like a king. I was just watching the chat and everybody like lost weight on the cruise, even though we were eating like kings and queens. And I think it's because we were eating so clean. Also, just going to throw this out there. On a previous cruise, I may or may not have partaked in some of the sugar-free desserts. You cannot do that when there's 150 carnivore police running around the ship. I'm just kidding. But I would like One time I went to go get a sugar-free cookie at the Cafe Promenade and I had a plate and she gave me 3, even though I just wanted 1. And so I looked like a total, like, Adrian's gone off the side of the ship. Like, she's got 3 sugar-free cookies and I turn around and there was Bella and steak and butter guy, Max. And I'm like,
Oh no!
I did not
What
Don't
do
cookies?
Yeah.
What did you thought you saw cookies? What were you? Get your eyes checked.
Nee, I
Those
sent
are
you
for
an
my
email.
friend there. Though I was just getting those for a
I
friend.
got it. Thank you.
So,
Can you show it?
Obviously, there was
Yes,
no
I can pull it up here.
police. And there were partners who were not carnivores. So we had normal people not normal, but we had standard American people in our group. And so they're really, I didn't know if there were carnivore police, they didn't come and arrest me. But we ate clean. We ate like kings. We got all the sun. I met so many carnivores I'd never met before. I feel like our community's so small, but I met a ton.
Look at that. Look at that. That's the
Look at
3
my
of
kid's
us and
face.
Eliana.
I was having such a bad hair day.
No, you look great.
I was so tired.
I think we're all probably tired, but
We were
it was
tired.
amazing. Look at Illy's face.
She's like, "Ooh."
I have.
my
I love
God.
her.
Nia, I'll send you the other ones. I didn't look at Eliana's face. She may have been making
It's
faces.
fine.
I don't know.
It's so funny, and like I think it's so cute how she was like so shy, and like if someone you'd say hi to her and she'd kind of like turn her head away and be like hi, like talk really quiet, and then as soon
She's
as the
not like
camera
that at
came
your
out,
house.
she's like, I want to be in the picture. I want to be in the picture. So she just comes to life whenever there's pictures being taken. So that was funny. Yeah, thanks for sending that. I didn't have that.
I think there was nothing cuter. And this is not obviously at the event, but at our house, Illy and Serena and Everin playing together. That was just the cutest thing, watching our babies play and getting to know each other. And Illy warmed up to me because at first she just kind of like side glanced me. She's like, hi, Miss Ellie. And then at the end, she was snuggling me and warming up to me.
Yeah.
So I was proud of her. I think she did great at the event.
She
Like,
did.
she was just a
And
trooper the whole
we
time.
dragged it out so long, and
It was long. Yeah,
I'm a
she hung it.
party
She was crying
animal,
at the end. She's
and
like,
we
"Why
were
aren't
all
we
gonna
going
ride
home?"
together, and I just was like, but there's still a party going on, and this poor girl.
No,
But
it's
then-
okay.
but
I knew
then
it'd be
we
a
ended
lot
up
for her,
pitching
but
the best ride home ever.
Yeah.
yeah, tell that. I want to throw up these because we got some super stickers, or I guess
Dustin's the
whatever these
best.
are.
Hi, Dustin.
So thank you, Keto Simple. Thank you, Target Prime Rib. Thank
Hey,
you, Keto
Thomas.
Simple. I don't know if you meant to do that twice, but thank you. Thank you, guys.
I like Rick's comment. Was anyone taller than that background? We were missing you, Rick, so much. We
I
need
know
to
you
be-
could have been. You could have been.
That was so funny. Well, I'm going to spoil it who drove you home, or maybe I won't. But the person who drove you home kept saying to me, you're much taller than I thought you were. And I just thought that was so funny. He just kept
You
mentioning
are
that.
tall.
Hey, Rick, I don't know if you've been in the stream the whole time, but I gave you a little bit of a shout out earlier when I did my little soliloquy earlier on.
Yeah. Okay, tell everyone who got.
But yeah,
who gave you a ride home.
tell us who gave us a ride home.
I don't want to spoil it.
Who?
Dr. Nelson.
Really?
But we're not supposed to tell his wife.
Oh,
That's right. We weren't supposed to say anything.
wife's not
Obviously, it was completely innocent, but it was so
Yes.
cool to get his ear because when I first saw him, his first comment to me, and it was so dry that I thought he was being serious, and he looked at me and he said, "Nice to see you. You've been cheating." And I was like, but wait a second, I'd like to say more. I don't think it's cheating. And so we had a really good discussion about combining low dose GLP-1 with carnivore and what his thoughts were on it. I thought it was a really great conversation. He's really dug into it. He's seen his patients use it. He still has some concerns, but it was very clear on our conversation that he's very well researched on the topic. And he was open-minded despite having concerns.
My mom is on Ozempic on a fairly low dose, but she's diabetic, but she takes insulin and stuff. So just a quickie, my mom's been on keto now for like 2 months. She lost 15 pounds. She's 84. And for the first year and a half, she told me how I was going to die and all this stuff. You know what I mean? This is terrible. You have to have fruits and vegetables. And oh, this is terrible. Red meat's bad. But after a year and a half, I said, Mom, I just want you to watch my interview with Carrie. This was my first interview I did with Carrie. The next day, she, out of the blue, she said, I need to talk to you. I'm like, what do you need, Mom? She goes, I want to do your diet. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, I want to do it. I said, what? You really want? So anyway, that was 2 months ago. She's down 15 pounds. She has 2 metal knees. She has a lot less pain in her knees.
Good.
She said she's feeling better. Says she feels clearer. Her mind's clearer. And also she was on 3 high blood pressure medicines. Her blood pressure dropped really low. She went to the doctor. They took her off 2 of her 3 blood pressure medicines. And she has an appointment with her endocrinologist about, her insulin and stuff. And I said, Mom, you can't do both. I will not let you continue along this journey if you continue to listen to your doctor, because he's going to tell you to eat carbs to match insulin. He's going to be very against this. So I said, you got to go one way or the other, but you can't continue to shoot crap loads of insulin and Ozempic and continue, because you already see what's happened to your blood pressure, how it fell off of, it went down to like 106. She wasn't really low. And so I said, this is what's going to happen with your sugar. And if you keep injecting tons of insulin, you're going to end up in the hospital. You're going to be hypoglycemic. You're going to end up in a situation. So I told her, you can't do both. You either have to listen to me or you listen to your doctor. And we already know what happened with your doctor. They keep increasing your insulin more and more and more. And they just increased your Ozempic, and they keep adding blood pressure medicines. You're up to 3 of them. And guess what? With me, I've already got you in 2 months off 2 of the 3. I'm not a doctor, but guess what? You saw what happened to me. I'm off 3 blood pressure medicines, no diabetes medicine. I was full-blown diabetic. I said, you're either going to go my route or you're going to go their route. You can't do both. I said, I'm serious. I will not allow you to do both, because you will get sick. Okay. I hope you'll listen to me, but you can't do both. You either continue with the carbs and go back to the way you're eating and get back on your 3 high blood pressure medicines and keep shooting the insulin, or we go my route. You can, tell the doctor, look, I want to do this. It's not open for discussion. You know what I mean? I understand where you're going. We tried it your way. Now I want you to work with me to deprescribe this stuff and to help me get off this. I'm doing a low carb. Just tell them I'm doing a whole foods, low carb diet. That's all you got to tell them. And I want to try this. Okay. If in the end, after 6 months, it doesn't work, we'll go back and do it your way. I told her that's what you tell them. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know how strong she's going to be. I wanted to be in there with her, but she, of course, picked the day that I'm working. So I said, well, then you're on your own. I mean, good luck. I mean, I would have talked to your doctor for you, but I'm trying to keep you alive. I said, Mom, I'm trying to keep you alive. You're 84. You're insulin dependent diabetic. This doesn't end well. It's not going to end well, but if you want, I can help you. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's heartbreaking in a way, but yet it's hopeful in a way. I just hope she can be strong enough, and she can be stubborn. My mom can be really, really stubborn. So I prepared her. I said, this is what he's going to say. He's going to say, oh no, that's dangerous. It's unsustainable. Oh, all that is going to raise your cholesterol. You know what I mean? I gave her everything, what they're going to say, unsustainable, high cholesterol. It's going to, give you a heart attack. It's all this stuff, they're going to say, oh no, you have to eat carbs and balance, eating X amount of carbs to X amount of insulin. This is what they tell people. It's like what Dr. Berry says with the ADA website. They want you to eat all that stuff on their menus. They want you to continue taking their drugs, right?
Well, if you look at their slogan, it says "Connected for Life." They literally want you. I think Nia I think you posted that today, or one of you guys posted that today on Instagram. That was talking about how we are supposed to be connected for life.
Well, I'm
Is your mom
I'm
type
completely
1?
disconnected from my doctor. I haven't been to my doctor in like a year and a half.
Yeah,
I
same
mean,
here.
I don't need him.
Is your mom type 1 or type 2?
Two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I recently tried to take care of my mother-in-law. She's type 1, early onset dementia, all the
Yeah.
whole 9 yards. It's
Well,
really,
you know what
it's
else? You know what
tough.
else I have her doing, guys? I recently put her on iodine, and I said, "Here, just you're going to put 4 drops of this in your coffee," and she is. And then recently, who was it? I just saw a video. Where is it? Oh, it was it was Diane Ladd when she was speaking at the thing about the MS. Was it her talking about the dementia and they with the coconut oil? Was that her? That they gave 1 teaspoon of coconut oil? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm confusing it. I
She
think
did
it was
speak,
something.
though.
I think it was something else. But that someone was talking about how they gave some coconut oil to someone with early onset dementia, Ellie. Just I think it was 1 or 2 tablespoons of, and I don't even think it was MCT oil. It was just like coconut oil, you know. And they went in for this special testing for like some kind of experimental study, and they needed someone with early onset. You couldn't be too far gone, essentially, right? So they would, and she drove her husband. This lady drove her husband all the way down to somewhere. He failed the test because he was too far gone. Like he didn't know the seasons, didn't know what day it was, like whatever. He was too far gone. Well, anyway, she heard about this coconut oil, whatever, and she gave her husband some coconut oil. And then there was another study. I think it was a week later, I want to say, and he passed the test just by having coconut oil.
Wow.
So
That's
anyway,
wonderful.
I put my mom, I have MCT oil that I put a little bit in my coffee with my butter and my cream. So I have my mom, I said, you're going to take a tablespoon of MCT oil and put it in your coffee with your, and I have her on heavy cream. She was doing that Coffee Mate liquid creamer. Have you ever looked at that stuff? It's corn syrup. The number 1 ingredient was corn syrup. Number 2 was soybean oil. That's
I
what
used to
she
have a
was putting in her
roommate
coffee.
who drank that every morning.
So now I have her on heavy whip. She does heavy whipping cream, the MCT oil, and 4 drops of iodine. Isn't that crazy? Dr. Cutler over here.
That's great.
I do have to say, like, low dose of GOP can be super medicinal to the brain, to the bones, to the bowels, but they're overdosing old people. And then they can lose their bone density. So as long as they're keeping her low, it's probably really helping. But
well,
I've seen them, standard doctors overdose them. They have a difficult time eating. They lose their bone density. They lose their muscle. They can't regain it. So obviously you're keeping an eye on that.
She was on 0.5, which is really like the lowest dose, I think.
Yeah, that's a low dose.
And then I think, though, that they just raised her to 1.
You know, and diabetics do need more, but as long as she's eating.
She is eating, but she doesn't eat a lot at each meal because it does shut down your stomach. You know, I mean, you know, she eats, but she can't eat a lot at each meal. You know what I mean? Like she eats and she gets full kind of quickly.
Yeah.
But she is starting, you know, she's losing weight though. But that's my concern is bone density and muscle loss, you know, for sure. But again, I'm trying to get her off the insulin. My number 1 thing is to try and get her off insulin. If I can get her off the insulin, then I think I can then see if I can get her back to 0.5 on the Ozempic. Again, it's all like a process, guys. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, you're a very good son for wanting to help your mama.
That's amazing though that she's starting keto. If you couple those things with keto.
Well, here's the thing. Just so you know, my brother and sister are both physicians. My brother thinks Ozempic is a wonder drug. He's the one that told my mom to go up to 1 from 0.5. He's done nothing to steer her away from trying to get off the insulin. You know, my sister, same, she's a physician too. I mean, both of them are double board certified in internal medicine, both of them. And my brother psychiatry, my sister pediatrics. And here is their dopey carnivore keto banker, because I was a banker for 26 years. I was a senior vice president of Wells Fargo in Wachovia. I'm the banker guy. And here I am helping her to get off all this stuff. Meanwhile, the two doctors are like, "Oh no, mom, you got to follow everything they say."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't blame them. That's how they were trained.
I heard putting insulin in a diabetic is like throwing like gasoline on the fire.
It is, yeah. So it's look. I mean, at least she is listening. She look. It took a year and a half for her to see what happened to me, and you know what I mean. And I think that again, sometimes, and she was very against it, guys, for a year and a half. I mean, she thought, I mean, every day it was, you're going to die, this is, she was horrified. Okay. Now
You
here
look
she is.
great.
I know.
Do your siblings struggle with their weight?
Oh, my sister's huge. My sister's 6 feet tall, about 350.
Oh.
Yeah. And my brother, he struggled with weight, but he's on the Ozempic, a pretty high dose. So that keeps him on the thinner side, but he's about my same size, 6'3", but he's probably 250, but he's not like really obese, but he's not thin. I'm about 200. He's about 50 pounds more than me, same height. But,
You're about 200?
Yeah, I'm like
That's
199.
great.
199.
What?
I was 300. Did you see my before
Wow.
picture?
Yeah,
Did I show you?
Yeah, you showed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have a YouTube channel.
I do, but I don't really have any videos there. I'm a ghost. I haunt everybody else's channel.
So where do people find you? Because I tried to find you on Instagram and I couldn't find you, but I did follow your YouTube channel.
I don't really have Instagram. I am on Facebook. If you look, Peter Cutler, Cutler, you'll see me. Peter Cutler, Boca Raton, Florida. You'll find me. I mean, I don't really. All I do is I do post. I think I posted a picture of me and Victoria, my girlfriend, on there recently. But I don't really. There's not really a lot there.
How tall is your girlfriend?
She's 5'6" or 7". Yeah, she's pretty, isn't
Just
she?
wondering. I have theories about people in height.
Oh, did you see the picture?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the picture on Facebook?
No, I'll have to go look.
You go look.
It's
But,
so funny because a tall guy is always dating a little shorty. That's what I've.
Well, my
noticed.
I know. My
my
husband's 6'4".
well, wait a minute. My ex-wife
He
was
is?
my
Wow.
ex-wife was barely 5'2", and I'm 6'3". Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm
Nice.
5'4",
yeah. How tall is your husband?
6'4".
Okay, so yeah, so you got a tall, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But you
Hi,
feel
Tyler.
taller than him, but he's also about 240 pounds. 230,
So-
240.
So Adrian, when I was like my walk around weight all my life was about 235 to 245. Like, when I was not like really overweight and not, the lowest I think I ever got before I did carnivore was maybe 230 or 225, maybe. And that was on the low end. And I haven't been 225 since I was 20. And I haven't been under 200 since I was probably 18 or 19, maybe. Yeah. This is
So
crazy.
are any of you guys going to Meatstock?
No.
Boo.
When is it?
I wish.
May,
Where is it?
Tennessee.
Gatlinburg? Where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it has a star-studded lineup.
Really? I may have to figure that. Is there like some kind of code? Savings code?
I don't know. Let me ask Scott. Scott.
Or who's the main people for that?
Scott, he's in our chat.
Oh, ask him. Ask Scott.
Yeah, I'll leave us some details. Peter, your mom was
Oh.
already going. Was she
You have to
already
get
going
on
to the
the wait
doctor?
list. It's
Somebody's
sold out.
asking you.
What's that?
Were you talking about how your mom has already been to the doctor, right?
No,
And she's on a bunch of blood
no.
pressure?
She's been going to doctors regularly, but when her blood pressure started dropping because of the keto, I sent her in immediately, and they took her off 2 of the 3 blood pressure medicines. So yeah, no, they readjusted them down. I didn't tell her not to go. That was me. I was talking about me. I haven't been in a while because I'm completely stable and I'm off all my medicines. But for her, no, she needs to work with them to, very carefully deprescribe as she starts healing, just like anybody would. Yeah.
Is it just me or like I've thought about going to we have actual health insurance right now versus usually my husband's a contractor, so it's an independent type of insurance where it doesn't cover anything.
Mhm.
And so with this actual insurance, I'm like, maybe I should go in, I guess. But it just feels really cringy. Like,
You know what I do?
we
What I
only
do?
go to doctors you pay cash to.
Well, I mean, if you go and they allow you like once a year to just go for an annual exam, like where they pay for, like an annual exam, and they take your bloods, it's always a good idea to get your blood work, and get a copy of it. And then you kind of know how to look at it. You know what I mean? And if you need any help, you know so many people now. Dr. Nelson would help you look at it. I mean, you've got so many doctors that can help you look at it. Kiltsy would help you look at it, you know. But I already kind of know what to look for. The HDL, the triglycerides. I don't care about the LDL at all. I mean, or total cholesterol. It's all about your triglyceride HDL, ratio. You know what I mean? And as long as your A1C, is nice and low and your sugar's low, and your blood pressure is good, as long as and your weight is good, if you have all the metabolic markers in check, there's people walking around with 500 LDL who are healthier than anybody, you know. But you can't be 500 LDL and your triglycerides are 1,000 and your HDL is 20 and you weigh 400 pounds. I mean, it's all, and your A1C is 9. You know what I'm saying, guys? So it's the whole thing,
Since we're at it, can I just show you guys something I got while I was on my trip?
Yeah.
I got original copies of these children books written by my friend Scott Everson. He's the one that runs the
meat stock.
And Scott, you should put a link to where people can get these. It
Oh,
says,
Ellie,
Daddy's a carnivore.
Nia.
I have children. I want them.
Oh, you got to get
Daddy's
that.
a carnivore.
I know.
And then the great escape.
Oh.
Yeah, I tried to get him to
awesome.
sign it and he wouldn't sign it, but I'm really excited.
What?
We already read them to the kids.
Scott.
The kids just went, I brought them stuff from the ship and they didn't care. They just wanted the book.
You know what? That's the kind of thing that when I have my granddaughter, I'm going to get, because Carla, Michael, my son's, my daughter-in-law, Carla eats really healthy, and Michael's pretty much, I'd say he's low carb keto. He does the Saladino thing. He thinks Saladino's a genius. I'm like, Michael, it's fine. If you want to do the honey and maple syrup and the fruit, and you know what I mean. But he pretty much does Saladino's thing. He's heavy meat keto kind of, but he does the Saladino. And I said, Michael, you're healthy like him. Saladino's young. He surfs. He's a surfer and he works out. I said, but for me, you got to understand. When he tries to say, "Oh, you can have that, Dad," I'm like, "No, you don't understand. First of all, I'm a complete sugar addict. Okay, maybe you're not. I can't moderate, that stuff. And that's number one. Number two, I'm a recovering diabetic. Okay, if I start going that route, I'm going to be back where I was. I can't go that route, And I had sky high blood pressure, like stroke level type stuff. I said, so I'm back to 120/80 with no medicine. I'm not going back there.
Have you guys seen the carnivore evolution? As I say this, let me know if this rings a bell. First, you come on carnivore. This is kind of a girl one. It might not be for you, Papa Carnivore.
I'm kind of girly.
But you come onto carnivore, you reduce your inflammation, you're like, whoa, and then you get a reduction in food noise, so you're like, this is the ticket. And so you're like, I'm gonna lose all my weight. And you look and you see all the people losing their weight, you're like, this is gonna work, I found it. You get so excited. But that pushes you to do hard things. You start tracking, you start exercising, and those are really the things that maybe lost the weight, not necessarily just the carnivore, but eventually the weight slows down, or maybe you gain a few pounds. So you join a group, you join a challenge, you try this. Next thing you know, that's kind of bouncing up and down. So then you try one-on-one coach, and then you try biohacking, and you try all these things, and eventually you come around the revolution to, should I add carbs back? And I know that's a cringy thing. Every time people get to the carb stage, I go, no! And on my way
Been
home,
there, done that.
yeah, on our way home from the conference, I watched Dr. Tina Moore, and she said, carnivore is bad for you long term. And she said she was carnivore for years and it can hurt your metabolism, blah, blah, blah. So I've been going down the carb rabbit hole, but I still go back to carbs don't fill me up ever.
But
ever.
can I ask you a question? Well, let me ask you a question. So who is this Tina Moore?
She's one of like the functional, people will call her fringe, and I like fringe.
Okay,
She's like a fringe functional practitioner.
Okay, so she's not. You got a lot of these people out there, guys. I mean, Dr. Berg tells you to eat 9 billion cups of leafy greens. Okay, I started out. Okay, and you know what? If I gave Nia, okay, 5 cups of leafy greens, she'd be in the hospital. Okay, if I did that stuff used to rip up my guts, Nia, so bad. All that. Remember, I told you I had all that. I had a lot of what you had, and I would get diarrhea and constipation. So I don't care what she says. When I got off all the carbs, my stomach settled down, and it was like I couldn't feel my stomach anymore. It was like, where's my stomach? You know, and my poops went perfect. I mean, maybe I didn't really see because I gradually I went from keto and then into like ketovore after 2 more weeks. By week 3, I was pretty much full-blown carnivore. So I didn't get keto flu. I didn't get the bathroom issues. What I actually got was a little constipated. So that's why I take magnesium citrate to give me, it has a mild laxative effect just because I'm the opposite. So I have to put extra butter in my coffee. Like I have to really do lots of fat, guys, or else I'm prone to go the other way. Okay.
That's me
too. I mean, so Ellie, we have to watch the fat. We got to keep it on the higher end. Otherwise, I get like I start laying bricks. If I have hard
rabbit turds, that's what Nia calls them.
Hard cheese, like my mom got some of this Jarlsberg cheese. You ever have Jarlsberg cheese?
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah. Well, I went and ate a whole shitload of that, right?
No.
And I literally stopped myself up, and it was like I almost thought I had to go to the hospital. Okay. And I figured it out. I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I was like, oh, and I took that out and I'm back to normal. So I know I can't eat the hard cheese. I can have brie cheese. I can have that soft laughing cow cheese, or, on the little wheel or whatever. I can have cream cheese. I don't eat a lot of cheese, first of all, but if brie is about the only cheese I really will eat, and it's a snack kind of thing, like after dinner, but I can't moderate the cheese so well, and it also stalls me out on the weight.
I'm able to moderate cheese. I feel like it kind of just like makes the meal taste better and makes me eat more meat. That's for me for sure. Like if I'm not hungry, it'll open my palate.
I'll tell you what, Ellie, if you take the cheese out for a while, you might find that your weight will really go down. That's the only thing. Yeah,
that's true.
But
like the way I see it right now is like, so I've gained, after I went off carnivore for 2 to 3 months because I had like horrible stresses in my life. You can watch it on my channel, watch me cry. I was adding things back in to see what I could tolerate, and there were vegetables or plants that I could tolerate, I could eat, and it didn't make me binge. But then there were things that were obviously big red flags, and I know that I can't cross that. So if I ever wanted to do something that's more keto, like a green bean or a pickle or something like that, like that's fine for me. But I choose not to do that on the daily. And then that way, the little rebel that's in me that's like carb addicted still, I can say like, oh, well, I'll have a little bit of green beans today if I ate out, which I never do. But it gives me that leverage, that permission to be able to go like a little off plan without actually hurting me. And I find that balances me out better, but I hardly ever do it. But yeah, I definitely think that the cheese would help. But I've been back on variety carnivore, and my pants are fitting again. And I gained weight, but my pants fit again. So I'm definitely recomping. And Adrian says I don't look as heavy as I look, so I feel good with that.
Nia, did you ever look into the carb thing? Did you ever hit that part of the revolution yet, or are you not there yet?
Probably the closest I came to it was when I started losing sleep. And because I heard everybody say, oh, to get my sleep back, I had to add in carbs. And so that was last March. And I thought, well, maybe I'm one of those people. But I thought, well, first, let me try adjusting my macros and see if that helps. And I actually dropped my protein by a lot to less than a gram. It was like about 90 to 100 grams a day, probably from about 140 or 130 ish. Wasn't tracking very like detailed before that, but dropped my protein a bunch and upped my fat a lot. So I got like to 80-20 macros and probably reduced the amount of energy. I had people in the comments tell me, you're not eating enough. You're not eating enough. You're not eating enough. At like 1,400 calories a day was about what I was eating. But it fixed my sleep. So my theory was that I was never
Really?
fat adapted for like the first 8 months, and that my body was still stressed out, like trying to get energy from somewhere, because I was eating so much food. I was trying to do more of like a priming style, like eat three significant meals a day and just like eat in order to get energy and just switch over to fat burning mode. But for me, it didn't work. It made me more constipated, and I don't think I truly fat adapted because my protein was too high.
Yeah, well,
remember
too,
and then my sleep switch.
Remember too, if you get too much protein, that the protein will synthesize into glucose. It will create. And remember, if you're not burning the fat, or I'm sorry, if you're not burning glucose, you're running off of fat. And if you don't eat enough fat, you are going to experience low energy and sleep issues. But so keeping that fat level up is not only, I always say, Dr. Kiltz calls carnivore fativore. It's the fat that's the magic. It's the fat that provides maximum energy, maximum healing, maximum weight loss, and maximum healing for particularly mental issues like I had. You got to keep the fat on the higher end. I keep my fat 70 to 75% right in that range. Just naturally. I don't track it so much. I did for a long time, but now I just kind of know. I used to track like a maniac for the first year and a half, but for the last 6 months, I know what it is, and I keep it right around 70, 75%, maybe even touching 80 sometimes, but that avoids the constipation and it gives me maximum energy. I mean, you saw me, I'm like bouncing off the walls, I've been up since 3 a.m.
You're awesome.
Guys. I've been up since 3 a.m.
I've never met you before, and you made my day meeting you. You were so
thanks.
positive and kind and just uplifting.
Thank you. Well, and because I'm a moderator in Kiltzy's Live at 5. Me and Alia are the two moderators. Actually, we just gave Coach Lisa Pickard a blue wrench, so now there's 3 of us moderate because it's starting to get busy in that chat. It's getting bigger and bigger. But I'm up at 3-4 o'clock every morning, and I've got all this energy, and as soon as I'm done with Kiltzy, I'm out walking, and I do 5 miles up and down the intercoastal, with my dog, and then I bring her in because she poops out. She's 14, and then I keep going. I'm back and forth, and then I go to work, and here I am. What time is it? I'm working till 8 o'clock tonight, and then I got a big T-bone waiting for me, with some butter. That'll be dinner.
I'm going to admit something right here, okay? Ever since I started GLP, I have been craving lean meat. And so I eat super lean. Like, I eat a lot of shrimp. I eat a lot of salmon. I eat chicken. And I never ate chicken before. Now I eat chicken. I eat just like lean hamburger. That's what I crave. And so maybe I can't sleep because I'm eating 90-10.
You are.
Yeah.
You're not eating enough fat. I guarantee you, if you up the fat, I mean, just put some butter in whatever you drink. If you drink any hot drinks at all?
Sometimes, yeah. Like I drink like a half a cup of coffee a day.
Put some butter in there.
I could start leaning towards more fatty meat.
Yeah,
I mean, some butter on my eggs.
Cook your eggs in a bunch of butter, I mean, cook your eggs in a bunch of butter. Put extra butter in your eggs. It'll absorb into the eggs. Just put more than you would
I love buttery eggs.
Yeah, like put more of that.
See, Scott, people want to read your books.
Come on.
I'm messaging him. I'm like, can I have your link to your books?
But
I'll they're cute.
But Adrian,
if you email it to me, I can put it in the description.
But Adrian, if
for
you up
people.
your fat, I'll bet you that helps with energy and sleep.
You know, I've just been going by what do I crave? That's what I've always done with carnivores. What do I crave? I crave lean meat. And I've heard this from other people too. It's like a GLP-1 thing. I don't know why.
I think, yeah, it's
Yeah, so I
messing.
think I need to tweak that because I don't
Yeah.
need to lose weight. Like I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I don't
now
think.
it's healing the hormones
Yeah.
and getting sleep and anything from here. If I'm thinking about trying to heal the hormones so I can fast, not for weight loss for the first time in my life, but because I need to autophagy my brain. I have a lot of brain damage. But then the great part is the refeeding.
I'll tell you what.
I get like 6 hours a night, and it says that there's stress the whole night.
Did you sleep well at my place? Did everyone know that we had a sleepover? We didn't mention that.
Yeah.
No, we need to get to
knew.
the sleepover. I know she said she couldn't make it. She's been up super, she's still kind of recovering from the trip too. And she was like, it's too late for me. Which I am trying not to stream at night anymore either. But I figured let's just do this while it's hot off the press and chat about the event. So I'm kind of in your boat, Papa Carnivore. I feel like I've started naturally waking up like usually it's around 4.
Yeah.
But it's different than when I was back in March when I was like up between like 1 and 3 a.m. like really wide, almost like I could go run a marathon. Like I was like almost stressed out. That just like my heart was kind of racing. Like it was a different feeling. And I felt tired, but I couldn't go back to sleep in the past. And now I feel like I wake up and I actually get up. I do like my personal time, my journaling, I've been jumping in Dr. Kiltz's live streams more in the morning and, just kind of having that time. And then I find I'm ready for bed about between 8 and 9 o'clock at night, which I think is pretty decent,
Nia,
right? So it's about 8 hours, sometimes, 7.5, and I will take a nap. Like if I'm tired during the day, I've really learned how to I wrangle in my kid and I'm like, we're taking a nap. You know what I mean? I try to, it doesn't always happen, but, and definitely not every day, but there was a point where I was like napping almost every day because I was still so exhausted. So I truly feel like something's happened probably over the last 2 months, I'd say slowly where, I'm starting to get that now where unless I, do something where I just flew and traveled a bunch, like I slept in today, but, I'll try to still be in bed. I know I need my blue Bockers. Somebody said, where are mine? They're, no, I did put them. unpacked them.
There is something comforting about it. And there's something comforting too about the mouth tape.
Oh my God, Adrian.
Really
can I tell you
something?
At our sleepover.
Adrian. Okay, so I was so excited about the mouth tape. I put it on. My husband keeps talking to me and I'm like, yeah, I couldn't talk to him. And then after 20 minutes, all of a sudden I was like, like my adrenaline started going up and I couldn't breathe. And I was like, I ripped it off. It's still on my floor, actually. So
you know what you have to do is turn something on to distract yourself. And within 2 minutes, your nose will open back up. I've had it where my nose was almost completely plugged. I put the mouth tape on. You distract yourself and your nose opens up and dries out. It's so weird. I know you think you're going to die for sure.
Oh my God. I felt like
there is mouth tape that has a little slit in it. You can get the one where you actually can get a little air.
I don't know. I don't breathe through. I'm not a mouth. What is it called when you breathe through your mouth at night? Mouth sleeper, I think.
Mouth breather.
Yeah. Mouth breather. Thank you. Right. I'm not one of those for sure. I don't snore, but I don't know. I started getting intrusive thoughts, and I was like, oh no. It put me in a spiral for a little bit. But it was also such a long day. Probably doing something new after that huge event and us talking for 5 hours straight, it probably was a little overwhelming. So I'll try again another time.
3 or 4 hours a night.
Oh, that's not good.
But he also eats a ton of butter. He said he put on 20 pounds in 2 months just with butter.
Where's this? This is in the chat.
Scott.
Oh,
Scott Everson. Everson.
Is this in the chat? Did I miss it? I haven't been paying super close attention.
man, I go through that Aldi grass-fed Irish butter. It's like Kerrygold, but I get it at Aldi. I go through that stuff like loads, guys. I mean, like
I
crazy.
have to go for some of this right now. I love Land O'Lakes unsalted butter. It's like frosting.
Ooh.
If you let
Hey.
it get to room temperature,
If Adrian, if you add back some fat, I bet you're gonna sleep like a baby.
I'm gonna do it, and I'll let you guys know. And
I'll
I'm
be
just
right
gonna say, just like like when I did this GLP thing, I did it silently because it was for my autoimmune. Really, it wasn't for the weight. It was like I couldn't get my inflammation under control or my hormones. And when I came out, I had to tell one of my best friends, and I had to tell her before I told everybody else. And I was really scared because they put her mom on it and they overdosed her, and she became a fall risk, and they thought she was going to die. Because when you're 80, you're not getting that muscle back. And they overdosed her, and she stopped eating. And it's horrible. So, there are side effects. You have to be careful. Here, I thought I could just be what do you call it when you just intuitive? I thought I could be intuitive, and now I'm thinking.
But just remember,
the intuition was ruined. I need fat.
Well, remember what that's medicine does is it basically kind of almost paralyzes your stomach. It slows down the peristalsis, and and it keeps the food in your stomach longer, so it makes you feel fuller, right? The food stays in there so that when you keep eating, the food doesn't move into the small intestine as fast. So, you feel fuller. But I think it also kind of messes around a little bit with what you're calling intuition, but the signals and hormones and things a little bit. So you're not craving the fat for whatever reason. It's making you not, want fat. But it's not. Your body still needs that fat. Trust me, you need the fat.
Absolutely,
And
we
particularly
need the fat.
women.
I
You
take
know
a
what?
low enough dose that the slowing isn't like I've never had burps. I've
Yeah.
never had like acid in my throat. I like the slowing when you stay low is pretty slow. But I have to say, if you guys know anybody who has gastric bypass and they struggle with hypoglycemia like I have, two things. Number one, the only treatment that we know right now to completely give you relief from post-bariatric reactive hypoglycemia is the carnivore diet. That's it. There's nothing else. Reversing the surgery doesn't work. There's no medication. But I do have to say, if you couple carnivore with GLP, it slows it down enough to get the signaling back online, so you're not having those terrible lows if you eat yogurt, if you eat a berry, so you're able to have a little bit more flexibility, but you still have to be careful.
Adrian, have you watched Dr. Elizabeth Bright at all?
Yes.
And what does she say? How much
Well, she
fat
says you can heal everything with fat. I think that's crazy.
Well, not everything, but she did say that women do need to consume some fat for their hormones and their glands and stuff like that. It's very important. It really is.
Yeah.
And she talks about
I thought I was
iodine.
eating enough.
And she talks
Like
about
I cook
iodine.
everything. I take and I wanted to share that with you. I take like a kelp iodine, or my doctor, who is a he is a carnivore. My doctor is a carnivore, and he said this is, I think it's standard process, and that it's highly absorbable, the iodine he has me on. It's so
Well,
I'm taking iodine.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that kelp stuff, but I can tell you that if you listen to Dr. Brownstein, watch Dr. Berry's interview with Dr. Brownstein. Dr. Brownstein wrote several books about iodine. He is according to Dr. Berry, and I believe Dr. Berry, he's the world's expert on iodine. And he says to use Lugol's 2% iodine. And, the amount that he recommends people take is a lot higher than what Dr. Berry thought before he started talking to Dr. Brownstein. And so I was only taking 1 or 2 drops, and then I had to up it to 4 or 5. But when I would listen to Dr. Brownstein, he said, if you are at high risk of cancer, like my father died of prostate cancer. So me and my brother are very high risk because there's a familial history of cancer. My dad's sister died of bladder cancer, so which is kind of related in that same area. He said, if you're at the higher risk of that, to take even more iodine. So I take 15 drops of Lugol's. I know that sounds crazy, but that's at Dr. Brownstein's recommendation. Now, I'm not saying you have to go 80% fat and 15 drops of iodine, but 90-10 is not a good ratio of fat and protein to fat. 90-10.
I don't know if that's what I'm eating, but that's what it feels like. Like shrimp has
Yeah.
like no fat, and that's what I crave.
Yeah.
So I will be more cognizant to make sure that I up my fat and see if I can get my sleep.
Yeah, and then you do take some iodine of some sort, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm taking, so my doctor ran my lab and said, this is how much of these I want you to take. And I don't know,
Okay.
have you heard of standard process? They're like a biologic. They've done something, and a lot of it I think might be made out of organs. Ellie, have you heard of standard process? Oh,
No, but my girl Illy was there. I had to give her some love. That's my
Hey,
second daughter.
Ellie,
I
what are you
swear.
eating?
I made carnivore ice cream.
Oh,
So I'm having
I
ice
did-
cream.
Peter, you had Kiltz's ice cream, right? Or no?
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was really good. Now, he didn't add in the cane sugar. He usually
Right.
makes his with a little bit of cane sugar. So
Mm.
if I were going to make it, I'd probably put a little bit of cane sugar. It's really, it's butter, eggs, and cream, I think. Butter, eggs, and cream.
Is there
That's
butter?
all it is. So, and then he puts a little vanilla powder in there, some type of
Vanilla
vanilla
bean.
powder, vanilla bean powder or something. But he said he also adds pure cane sugar, natural cane sugar.
Oh, I didn't add that.
Yeah, he didn't add that. So
He
to
did
me,
it at the dinner.
it was very bland. But if you maybe added a little of that, or I would have probably added some organic monk fruit. That sweetener is also really natural too.
Yeah,
And
I just made mine. I watched Bella Sticking Butter Gal's video. It's just, and because I don't have an ice cream maker, it's just heavy whipping cream and egg yolks, and then there's a way to like process it. But it's really easy, and then it's so weird. I keep having this mental like moment of being like, "Where's the sugar? Like, where's the sugar?" I'm expecting this sugar bomb, but you know what? I'm really enjoying it, and I think it's upping my fat. Like we were talking about earlier. That's why when you guys were talking about fat, I was like, "Oh no, I left the ice cream on the counter," and I ran.
I can eat some cheese and some butter,
Mm.
but when I ate Kiltz's ice cream, I felt my glands swollen. So I don't know that I can have like loads of cream. Like I'm still sensitive.
Okay.
It was so
I was just
Adrian.
going to say, I went through a similar thing where I felt like I was craving lean stuff, and I have no idea why. Other than my catch-all for everything is the microbiome. I feel like, that's always been my struggle. And I feel like this time on carnivore, since I went cold turkey, that's why I'm still 18 months in, and my digestion still hasn't like 100% adapted, but I'm slowly getting there. Cause the first time it took me like 5 or 6 years to slowly cut foods out until I got to only meat. So my stomach, I had a long time to adapt to that. And so then I was like, oh, I can eat all the fat that I want, I felt like I did so much better the first time. So like, I don't know if it's a microbe issue with me, like why certain things, like why I crave certain things. And now I'm questioning everything. Like maybe it's just the microbes, like trying to tell me to eat things that aren't right for me, so that they can live, kind of a thing. And so it's very weird, but I definitely went through a phase where I craved shrimp and I craved salmon. I still eat quite a bit of salmon, and I craved chicken, and I've never craved turkey or anything like super lean, but I'd like eat a lean steak and think like, this is really good, and then it kind of just went away. But I think it was more mineral based. Like I felt like, because it was after I did the lion diet, that's what it was. And I like pushed through 30 days of beef only. But I was like, I'm hungry for all these other things. And it was mostly seafood. I ate oysters, I think is the first thing I ate that wasn't beef. And then I ate a bunch of shrimp. And then I was like, I want fish and chicken and like all this variety of carnivore foods. So I don't know if it, for me, was even more about the leanness necessarily, or if it was about like whatever nutrient is in that specific food that maybe I'm not getting from just beef, or I'm not able to digest it because of the way my gut is still, like, I don't know for sure, but that's just kind of my theory. Well, there was definitely a time where I was like, I don't think I'm eating nearly enough fat. And then it just kind of changed. So,
it's funny, Nia, because I've been eating lots and lots of beef lately, like lots of T-bones and this whole thing, you know, at the Brazilian steakhouse and Kiltsy's. I've been beef. Last night I had this craving for like oysters and seafood and stuff. And there's this place called Ichiyami, right? It's like a Japanese buffet kind of place, and they have everything: shrimp and like cocktail shrimp and oysters on the half shell and all this seafood sushi. And I was just eating the sashimi and I was just seafooding out like seafood. You know what I mean? And I just think my body needed a change, and I feel so good now. Tonight I'm going back to my T-bone when but I needed that little change up just that one day, and I feel so much better.
I thought I was craving all this fish because it has that good oil that's really anti-inflammatory and kind of lights your brain up. So that's what I thought.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
For me
I think so,
personally,
too.
I don't like these. This is just me. I don't like necessarily these challenges where you only eat like one type of food. I feel like we need the variety. There's like there's different nutrients in every single different cut of meat. And if you can eat variety, that's what I mean. I know some people use Lion Diet, or they do like a sardine, challenge or something to get themselves into a certain type of ketosis or to heal autoimmune. But for me personally, I have always eaten variety. I don't like challenges. I find that they kind of trigger a little bit of like, oh, I'm restricting again, and they get me in a bad mindset. So I always like to eat variety. But unfortunately, Adrian and I will have to go soon because we're gonna have to hop on
I'm gonna close 103.
I just want to say that sardine challenges are amazing.
No, that's fine.
But
I've been eating.
I don't like the Lion Diet. For me, it caused me immense inflammation. It was horrible for my hormones, and I was craving salmon so bad. And Judy Cho has come out and said beef and ruminant unflown is not enough nutrition. It lacks some of the nutrition that you get from eggs and fish. And so I don't know that Lion is really that healing. I don't know. Don't come out.
And I think, just to put the cherry on top, and then I'm probably going to cut this off too and go jump in y'all's chat here in about 15 minutes. Because that's usually my Tuesday while I'm, running around doing things.
Come to Lioness Lifestyle
with my blue
Live.
blockers on. I watch Lioness Lifestyle Live. So everybody just come on over there. But I think like something that I read, which I kind of just knew, but then it hit home again. It's like, especially ladies after you've had children, like we are depleted of minerals. Like we gave everything to those babies, and especially things like vitamin D and like trace minerals, and like it just sucks that out of your body to give to these babies. And so I think too, especially after giving birth or, like that type of stuff, I think carnivore women definitely need the variety. I think we need as many different entry points for different, points or entry points for the nutrition to come in, as many bioavailable forms as we can, I think. So, and I think men do too, you know what I mean? And there are people like Michaela Peterson and stuff that seem to have to stay Lion, but that almost seems to me to be the exception. I don't know, based on just
she's an outlier.
The general comments and videos that I see. But there again, none of us are doctors. None of us are giving medical advice or telling you what you need to do.
Someone else's experience. Someone else may have this amazing experience that just wasn't mine.
And I love sardines now because I tried them. So don't knock them. I eat them with eggs. I like to cook. I put them with my eggs, and it's so good.
I'll admit, sardine challenges for weight losses. Sardine challenge for brain health, energy, ketosis, autophagy.
And also, if you need a shelf-stable yum.
Yes, we have cases of them.
Yes, you do, and so do I. No, I'm just kidding. Not that many, but
I got to tell you one more thing before we jump off. I met a guy on the ship who was part of the Zeroing on Health, and he made in like 2011 so much pemmican that he can survive in his home for like 5 years on just pemmican.
That's awesome.
I wish I would have known about pemmican when I was doomsday prepping, because most of our stuff needs to go like in the garbage.
As long as we have variety, pemmican variety, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some
But
canned
anyway,
salmon in
this
there
was
once in a
so
while.
lovely. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I was late.
No, it's all good. Thanks everybody for being here, and thanks everybody in the chat. I was like paying attention for a while, and then sometimes I get lost in looking at all you beautiful faces up here. So I do my best to keep my ADD under control and get to all your questions. So I apologize if I missed anybody, but thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed this little quick recap of the Tampa meetup. Get your tickets to Austin. Link is in the description. Come see me, come hang out in Texas. Everything's bigger and better here. And so, and then come over and hang out in Linus Lifestyle. I think, did you drop a link, Ellie? Okay. Come hang out there if you want, and we'll all do this again in a few minutes. So thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye.